I know, my mum was talking about it more than him. She said if I was 20 years old.
Sorry there. John from Real Madrid, good morning. Thank you for the press conference. Just the usual format, we'll have a press conference, if the TV media will move, then the written press, and we'll do one-to-one. With Chris Roberts, the technical director, and assistant manager is here as well, from the interviews in English and okay.
Chris, morning.
Morning.
Gareth, not in the squad. The reasons why and how much sort of discussions have been going on with Real Madrid. Is it amicable? How's it worked?
Joined the group. Real Madrid have been absolutely first class all the way along. I think they recognise in Gareth they've got a player that's totally committed to win. They've never ever put an obstacle in our way. So equally we have to recognise, if we look at the last couple of months, it's been tough for Gareth. Fit twice. And looking at the bigger picture, it's all about the summer. And make sure that we've got our strongest squad going into the summer of the tournament. So at this moment in time, I think it's each both parties that he doesn't come. It's not just the game losing, it's happening as well. So we both parties feel it's right that he stays where he is, works there, gets treatment, does everything he needs to do there. I think that he benefits from that between now and the end of the season.
Can you tell us about the relationship you've had with Real Madrid? Because obviously in the past you've spoken with them, Zinedine Zidane is now there. It seems you've worked hard at a relationship there. How does it work?
Well, in all fairness, we've worked as hard with Real Madrid as we do with every club because, international, they don't belong to us, the players. I've said that before. We effectively borrow them, don't we? So we've got to make sure we look after them and we get them properly, because if you don't look after them when you gamble with their fitness, then down the line you're going to be punished for that. You can't blame clubs for reacting. If their player has been maybe pushed too much, you gamble with him. If he's got carrying an injury, he goes back to his club. He can't play for 3 or 4 weeks. So you can't blame for clubs for having bad relations with that particular country. We've never ever done that ever. We've never gambled. So we work the same with Madrid as we do with all the clubs. It's not in our benefit not to try and do the right things with all the players. I think, but to be fair to Madrid, I think as well, myself and Osh, who went out there, spent a few days there. I think they appreciated that. And
So everything's always been first class, to be fair to Madrid. I don't know Zinedine Zidane personally. So maybe that, if he stays there long term, then that's maybe another trip for Osh and myself to go out and have a meeting with Zinedine. But yeah, it's been first class with Madrid all the way along.
As much as it's been the success of the squad, has been the togetherness. Would you have liked
Yeah.
How much would you like to maybe joined up for some part of the camp? That together and together?
Yeah, I think. Well, he probably would have done. Would have come along, but I think his wife is ready to give birth anytime. So I think that obviously takes precedent. Otherwise, I would imagine he would have popped across. He always does. There's been other times when physically he's not been able to make it, but he's been here. He's been here to see the guys and spend a few days. He's done that many times. So I think this time it's not possible for that to happen.
Yeah, Chris. Sort of what part did
Brilliant,
the
thanks,
sort of impending arrival of the baby play in this as well?
I think it's more to do with the physical side of things with his injury. First and foremost, that's what we dealt with. So that obviously his wife comes first and his family comes first, of course. But that wasn't really discussed. That was, we've talked about physically, where is he, how is he? So that was discussed more than the family situation. But obviously that comes first. And even if he was 100% fit, if his wife's ready to give birth any day, it's a tough one, And but we never really went down. We just took that for granted that was an issue. But we only really discussed the physical element of the problem.
So had these been qualifiers, Gareth would be here.
I think if you look at his record, he's not a player that misses really, unless he has to. He's not a player that says, maybe I won't, maybe I don't need to be there. He knows we need him, and whenever we can have him, and if it's possible for him to be here, he's always here. He's not a player that we look at and think, maybe he will, maybe he won't. He always does. So, if he's not here, then it's not possible for him to be here.
Because the reputation that Ryan Giggs had for Nottingham, for Brennes, and you also know that people said, now he's gone to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Wales won't see him as much, but this is almost a one-off in Real.
Well, I think so. Since he's been at Real Madrid 2 years, he's did he score 7 goals for us in 10 games? Was pivotal in us qualifying. So the people at the start of the campaign said, well, they won't get him now because he's in Madrid. They won't get him as much. It's been his best form for Wales. What he's done for us in the last 2 years is, incredible. So I think the people who say that about Bailo, they obviously don't know him, not as well as I do, or as well as we do. So I never once worried when he went to Madrid. From a personal point of view, I thought it's better actually for us, because I know La Liga, it's a great league, but I've said before, it's a slower tempo than the Premier League. It's less taxing physically. So, it's better for us that he is out there. I think physically when we get him, he's probably better than when he's playing 45, 55 games for Tottenham in the Premier League. Is the different, and cup games, and that's way more tax in the Premier League to play him than the Liga. So if we're being selfish, it's better for us that he stays where he is.
So it's that question to ask, how do you replace Gareth Bale for games? But obviously you also got to put about Aaron Ramsey, James Collins, and I noticed Ben Davis you've included anything else?
Yeah, honestly, Rambo and Bale, my only answer is you don't replace players like that. They don't grow on trees. We know that. But that's not to say that we've got a bit of strength and depth. We've got quite a few young players in there, which will be good for them. And I think we've got to look at it coming up to a big tournament. We know what we know about everyone. We know about Rambo and Bailo. We know about Andy King. We know about all these players who have been with us. Tom Bradshaws and players like that. Gives them a little chance. And Andy Croft back in, who's done brilliantly to get back after his, he had a tough period there with injury, and Crofty's done fantastic to get back playing. Gives us a chance to look at one or two of these guys, and so that's, one door closes, another one opens, doesn't it? And it's good for us now going before the tournament to just cast our eye over one or two, learn a little bit more about them, and so that's a positive for us rather than a negative.
So I asked you a couple of weeks ago, have you picked up 23, and you said, yeah, every other day I picked up, and I changed it 200 times, I think you said,
Yeah.
probably more than that. Are there still places for people to impress you, chance for people to impress you, to get in your squad, playing in the likes of these games?
Yeah, there is, I think. When you look at what's happened since the turn of the year, we've got players who wanted to go out on loan from their clubs because they're not playing, because they want to give themselves the best chance to get into the squad. They want to be playing every week, and they know if they're playing every week, no matter what level it is, they've got a better chance to shine and to get into the 23. So of course, there's places in there where there's more than one person that's rock solid in that position, and I think that'll be the same for most countries. I can't say, I know in my head at 23 I think that will be our strongest, but unfortunately there's injuries, players are not playing, and sometimes someone will hit a rich vein of form. But if I'm honest, if you're in form for 4 to 6 weeks or 2 months, and there's someone else that has been doing it year in, year out, I know which one I'm going to choose, if I'm honest. But that's not to say that one or two places in there could be up for grabs. Absolutely, of course.
Couple of quickies. Are you going to give Danny Ward a chance in one of these games?
Yeah. Danny will play in one of these games, and he's deserved it. He went on loan up to Aberdeen in Scotland, and he was playing some great football, and we saw a change in him. But he's always had potential. Since he played first team football in Scotland, he came with us, and he'd pushed on. So he deserves a chance, and we need to. We've obviously got Wayne, who's outstanding for us. And Fon had a taste of it against Holland in the last game, so now we need Danny to get a taste of it. So then at least they've got a little bit of experience of being on the pitch. But Danny will figure in one of these two games.
And given the amount of games some of these players have played, particularly the likes of Ashley Williams and Neil Taylor, whatever, are you going to be careful on how you play in both games? In other words, are you likely to change teams for the two games?
I think we've got to be mindful of, it's a fine line. There's the tournament coming, and ideally we don't want to be looking at the tournament thinking we've got 3 games to play. We want more than 3 games to play, obviously. We've got 3 games before we get to the tournament, and then the players who are playing every week, like your Ashley Williams, who never miss. There's physically, we've got to look at that and think what's best for them. We're not going to learn nothing about Ash. We know exactly in certain plays we won't learn nothing about. So yeah, we may look at that and see if it's a bit taxing for him. But flip side of the coin, we want to do well in the games. We don't want to be going into any game for Wales thinking it doesn't matter, because it always matters. It matters how we perform. So we've got to get it right. Got to get the balance right. And it is, we can win both ways. Where if we manage it properly, we can get good performances. The players get good minutes on the pitch, and we don't overdo it, and we treat them properly. So we've got to get the balance right, and normally we do.
Last one. Jordan Williams is being looked at by Liverpool over a tweet that that allegedly was put up last night on his account. He said he was hacked. Have you seen anything about that? And do you, knowing Jordan Williams as you do, is it something that you'd be surprised that he did?
It's the first I've heard, Rob, if I'm honest. I'm not a tweeter. I'm a bit of a dinosaur. So I have no idea, Rob. Honestly, I don't know what's been said. I didn't even know it was an issue, to be honest with you. I know Jordan very well. He's a lovely kid. He came with us for the Cyprus and Israel camp in the last campaign and impressed. Nice boy, so I can't comment. I've not seen what's been said. I don't know what that situation is.
Chris, how difficult, you had momentum during the qualifying campaign. It's been a bit of a while since the last international get-together. How do you sort of recreate that momentum now? Because it is just a matter of months now, but you haven't had the team, you haven't had the squad for a while.
Yeah.
How key is it to get that momentum back?
Well, and obviously the squad is going to be totally different, as it always is. But you know, that's international football, and we can't complain about it. That's part of trying to, for me, to try and do the job as best I can and manage that, because it's the same for everyone, unfortunately. And you know, when you playing well and you're getting results, the last thing you want is a 3 or 4 month break. That's how it works. We've got to just get back to doing what we were doing before, and actually we've got to do it a bit better to try and make sure we keep pushing the players, try and make sure we don't rest on our laurels and just don't look back and think, look how well we've done. Yeah, we've done well, done being behind us. What we're going to do next, and keep pushing and keep challenging the players, keep challenging ourselves to make sure we keep doing and we make sure we keep on impressing. That's all we can do, you know.
Okay, if we can just switch off the microphones, still film that we want to the written pass. Bill? Let's do it now. Oh, we have no section after Bill. Chris, Bill? Anyone? You've had 20 minutes to think. Come on.
Just take these away from me. Oh, yeah, cheers.